Man of extremes.
It's a normal 12
I don't
or
know.
14.
Eh.
Arrow left.
There we go.
Done breathing. You're done exhaling.
And oop.
Greetings, Internet. Welcome to But I'm Still a Good Person by Vince Nicholas. I'm Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hello.
Hello, honey. Thank you for joining me in our bedroom for our little program here. Okay. So we went to Disneyland with my mom and stepdad, me, you, Luna, Lennox, my mom, and my stepdad. We stayed at Disneyland Hotel. For this pod, we're going to talk about our day at Disney. And then for part two, it's like Dune. It's like Dune 2 without all the sand. And no Javier Bardem. We're going to talk about everything else. Disneyland Hotel and Downtown Disney and blah, blah, blah. But it's a lot of content, so let's just focus on our day at Disney. So it's a Sunday. Wake up around 6:30 a.m. And it's now for people who don't know, Disneyland Hotel is near the park, but it is not next door to the park. It's a hike, and they have the monorail, um, but that takes you to Tomorrowland. And our strategy was Galaxy's Edge, which is the Star Wars land in Disneyland right off the bat, and Tomorrowland and Galaxy's Edge are at opposite ends of the park. So we walked from Disneyland Hotel to through downtown Disney to the Disneyland entrance. It's about 10 to 15 minutes. And my parents are older, aka slower. So it's not next door. I feel like if you're Disney Hotel, they should give you some sort of VIP golf club or something.
I've been led to believe that the Disneyland Hotel was a lot closer to the park than it really is.
Right.
This is my first time ever seeing it or going to it.
Yeah.
I was always told the monorail takes you right from the park, right from the hotel, straight into the park. So
Yeah.
I envisioned like you walk out of your hotel room into the hallway and you step onto a monorail.
Right.
But that is
And
not the case.
Walt Disney says, enter, come on in. Yeah, Pixar Hotel is further, and California Grand Hotel, which is the new one, it's more expensive, the poshest of the three. It's in downtown Disney, and you still gotta walk. You gotta trek it. So we arrive around 7:45. I was surprised, honestly. I thought we were gonna run late. And the rope drop, which is when they let you in the park, happens at 8 a.m. But they let you onto Main Street. So they let everyone into the park, but they stop you at the end of Main Street, and you're just all gathering there. But it's a festive time. It is the happiest place on earth.
As soon as we got to the Disneyland gates, I was giddy.
Yeah.
The kids were making fun of me because I was just like, I haven't been there in so long.
Right.
And I was just so happy that we were all there together.
Yeah.
So walking down Main Street was great.
Oh my gosh. Like so many memories, so many fond memories.
It's magical.
Yeah, it is. It's the happiest place on earth. It's the happiest place on earth for Disney shareholders, and it's also the most expensive place on earth. People everywhere. It was a Sunday. It's busy. The weather was perfect, which just adds more freaking people. Throngs of people, hordes of people as far as the eye can see. Super crowded. So had the app loaded up. You are my passenger princess, my love, and my mom is my passenger queen. And I was happy and proud to lead our excursion. The app is not crap. You can look at all the queues. How long is the line for Space Mountain?
Yes, I loved that. It was so convenient. You could see on the map where you are, where all the rides are.
Yeah.
It was really useful.
Yeah, you can order food, and to where it's like, okay, you're number 382, your order is ready. And it's like, wow, how did we get along 20, 30 years ago? It was bedlam. It was crazy. It was mayhem and cheese. So the rope drops and we head straight to Galaxy's Edge. It was a little Black Friday-ish. Threw a few elbows here and there. Stomped and trampled. Well, I'm sorry about your Mickey hat and your mouse ears, little girl. But we headed straight there. Now, it was 8 a.m. And but not the spoiler alert. Not everything opens at 8 a.m. because they got maintenance to do sometimes. Sometimes things are breaking or whatever. So at 8 a.m., Rise of the Resistance, which is the hot new ride, was not open. So I was like, okay, we'll go to Smuggler's Run. That's the other Star Wars ride in Galaxy's Edge, aka Star Wars Land. So we're headed towards Smuggler's Run, and then a Disney cast member dressed up in Star Wars garb, an Asian man. Oh, the future is so diverse. I love it. He says, hey, Rise of the Resistance is about to open. We were like, okay. And it was 8:10-ish. Head there. No line. Okay. And I've been checking the Disneyland queues and app for weeks. And Rise of the Resistance, on a good day, it's 45 minutes. On when it's super crowded, 85, 90 minutes. And we just, there was no line. The only time it took us was to get to the freaking ride because they got all the barriers and velvet rope and all that stuff. But we went right through all of it. It was awesome. And we get right to the ride. And the only time we had to wait was for the people in front of us to hop on their little tram. So we do Rise of the Resistance, and it is amazing.
It's a great ride.
It's really cool. Well, okay, back up. Galaxy's Edge is unbelievable.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
You,
And it's like you're there on a movie set, but it's
yeah,
kind of like you're just there, like on Tatooine or whatever the planet is.
yeah,
It's like it's so immersive.
yeah.
It's really cool.
They did it. They took height into consideration. Like there are mountains and hills and valleys and walls. So you are fully engulfed in the Star Wars universe. Now, listen, Fantasyland is fine. Okay, there's a castle here and there, and uh, Jungle Land or whatever, Frontierland is fine. It's got a few cowboys.
Well, I think all those places are really cool and magical in their own right.
Yeah,
Galaxy's Edge is a little different though.
yeah,
It's really impressive.
yeah. I think all the lands, even Adventureland, aka cultural appropriation of island people land. Okay, you got some jungle, you got some shrubbery. Tomorrowland, oh, this is the future, I guess. But they went all out on Galaxy's Edge in terms of money and design and production and care, and it's amazing. It's jaw dropping. It's like, wow, this because they took height into consideration. I think that's very important. Like you go into Fantasyland, you look around and you still see sky. You see the 5 freeway. You see the Anaheim Mighty Ducks
No, you
playing over
don't.
to the left.
No, you don't.
But Galaxy's Edge is unreal. So Rise of the Resistance, we get in there. The ride is the bomb. First off, like all roller coasters, they just put you in a cart, and then the cart's on a wheel and it's on a track, and you go woo woo woo, and you're like, okay. They use magnets or radar or some sort of sensory thing to where, like, you're not on a track. There are no wheels. You're kind of gliding. It's super cool. It's like high tech, super space technology. And then another part early on the ride, they take you into this room, and it's like a bad guy ship, an Empire ship. So it's all black. It's very shiny. Empire, they're very into minimalism, honey. Their design aesthetic.
I like it.
Yeah, and then but you look in front of you, and there's 50 stormtroopers there. And yeah, they're statues. Okay, whatever. But it's like this is
It's real. It's like you're really there in a spaceship,
yeah,
getting captured by the bad guys,
yeah,
and there's giant AT-ATs that you
yeah,
go by. It's like true to scale.
yeah.
Like you're a little person and these giant sets are all around you.
Yeah.
It's so cool and scary.
Yeah, the stormtroopers, super cool, and then they take you to another room, and I call them AT-ATs. Are they
I have
AT-ATs?
no clue.
Those giant things that walked around in the snow, they take you in a room, and it's freaking life size. Like you're looking up, it's
Yeah.
80 feet, 100 feet. I don't. There's two of them, and it's like, wow, this is unreal.
Yes.
This is so freaking cool. By the way, hot take incoming regarding stormtroopers from Grandpa Curtis. They have all that armor head to toe. Like even their elbows and knees are covered. And then they take one laser, pew pew, and they fall down and die. What's up with that? That's Kurt's.
Their outfits are just purely aesthetic.
Right.
It's all fashion, no
Yeah.
protection.
Yeah. The ride is super cool. It's not the greatest ride of all time. I couldn't even name the greatest ride of all time. But the magnets and the visuals, the production design, all that stuff. It's super fun. I wish they just had more flying. Um, they have it at the end for a few seconds, uh, but the ride is the bomb. It's super cool.
It was one of my favorites of the day.
Yeah.
And that whole area of Disneyland blew me away.
Yeah.
If you have a chance to go, you should go. And I want to go back.
Absolutely. And then we went to Smuggler's Run, which gets a bad rap. I thought it's fun. It's no Rise of the Resistance because you're just stuck in a little pod.
Right. Yeah, you're just looking at a screen the whole time. You're not moving.
Yeah.
And it's one of those rides that's like really jerky.
Yeah.
Like you're jostling all about.
Yeah.
And
because you're flying you're bouncing
flying
off
in a
that.
spaceship and you're hitting things and you're getting shot at.
Yeah.
I don't like those kinds of rides because they make me feel nauseous. And it's also one of those rides where you're in charge of like shooting.
Yeah.
And piloting the ship, so you can control if you're hitting stuff or not.
Yeah, so in each little transport tube or whatever ship, Millennium Falcon, if you will, there are 6 seats, and hey, we had 6 people. So Lennox and who was the pilot? Kurt, Grandpa Curtis. And their joysticks actually controlled whether you go left, right, up, down. I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, it's not an actual video game. You can't like turn around and go to another galaxy. So you're pretty much on rails, but I was like, that's different. And then our gunners were you and Luna.
Yeah.
And did you shoot bad guys?
Yeah.
But they didn't give you like triggers.
No, it was a button.
Joysticks.
You just push a button. Push, 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 push.
And then me and my mom were the ship's engineers.
And neither of you did it.
I was like, I ain't fixing jack shit, okay? It was like press this button to heal the Millennium Falcon's space beam, and I was like, nah, I ain't.
All you had to do is push a button. Why didn't you push it?
Because it's not real, honey. I thought it's a good ride. ROTR is like top of the food chain, and the Smuggler's Run, not nearly there. But it was good. It was fun. And again, no wait, which was unreal. We went to the front, and it was like, okay, get in here. And we were like, wow. So by 9:00, those 2 rides were on my bucket list or whatever. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to see Galaxy's Edge, and I wanted to do those 2 rides. So by 9 a.m., I was like, whatever, I'm done for the day. And we can do whatever anyone wants. Even Galaxy's Edge, even the bathrooms. Like I felt like I was in the Rebels bathroom because it was lots of stone, lots of gray. The Rebels design aesthetic is very subtle, honey. Very 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 underwhelming. Lots of rock, lots of cement. They don't have all that Empire money to go to RC Willie, okay? But I was in the bathroom and I was like, wow, this is where Finn urinated. Okay, so we were hungry. It's about 10 a.m. I'm sorry, 9 a.m. Between 9 and 9:30 a.m. We were hungry. That's the one thing about Galaxy's Edge. There's not a lot of food. A lot of food options. So hop on the app or looking, and boom, Olga's Cafe, which is the bar from Star Wars, the original Star Wars, is open. Now, keep in mind that people hop on the app and the website and whatever 60 days in advance to make reservations for this stupid Star Wars cafe. But we got in almost immediately. Just hop on the app, join a walk-up list or whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, come on in." Uh, but we walked in, and it was, well, it's a bar. There's 4 things of food, um, and there are lots of wacky drinks that look weird and have bizarre names. But we walked in, and there was nowhere to sit too. Like we're all just standing at the bar, and the band in Star Wars was fun. Like they had that anteater playing the saxophone or whatever. But this bar was just like one guy, and he was DJing a robot, but he was DJing, and I was like, this sucks, to be perfectly frank. So we walked right out. Um, and so we're still hungry. We're looking around. There's no food in Galaxy's Edge at that time. And then the problem with Disneyland is there's 900 food options this way, and there's 900 food options that way. And I threw up my hands and I said, "Honey, you take over. I can't decide." So where did we head next, darling?
We left the Star Wars land and we headed over to
New Orleans land.
New Orleans. What is that area called? I don't
Pirates of
know.
the Caribbean.
Yes.
Yeah.
We went to Stagecoach Cafe, which is right near the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yeah.
They were opening, it was like 9:30 a.m. They were opening at 10 a.m. So we
Right.
just had some time to chill. We sat down, start looking at the menu,
Yeah.
and I checked the little app and I saw that the wait time for Pirates was only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's go. This
Yeah.
is perfect. So me and the kids ran over there, got in line,
Yeah.
barely waited in line, got
Yeah.
right onto the Pirates ride, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we got off and headed back over to you guys, and it was time for the restaurant to open.
Yeah. I didn't do Pirates, and my philosophy was like I got the Star Wars rides and saw Galaxy's Edge, but after that I was like, whatever.
You don't like anything fun.
That's true. I'm anti-fun. I'm Captain No Fun, pilot of the Millennium No Fun Falcon. Well, I've done all that stuff, and this was over 2 decades ago. But I don't need to wait 30 minutes for Space Mountain. I don't need to wait 30 minutes for Matterhorn and Pirates. And they've even toned it down, right? Because the pirate that chased around that woman with the bottle of Hennessy or whatever, they took it out.
They reversed it, so now she's chasing him.
Anti-misogyny or something.
Reverse misogyny.
Yes. So we went to a Stagecoach Cafe, which is right in New Orleans land, right where the Tom Sawyer ship is. And we got Caesar wraps at 10 a.m. I thought they were whack.
They were strange. She warned me when I was placing our order. She said, "These are vegetarian, okay?" Okay. But they had like seeds in them.
Yeah.
They were it was like bird foody.
Yeah.
Like kale and a bunch of crunchy things. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But I was so hungry, I just ate the whole thing.
Right. And Lennox got some chicken tendies.
Luna got a funnel cake.
Oh, yeah.
And I did help her eat that. It was so good.
Yeah. London finishes chicken tendies. You had a sandwich bag with some cuties, like some oranges in there.
I brought oranges.
Tangerines. And then you put Lennox's unfinished chicken tendies in this plastic bag. What was your thinking? I was like, what the hell's going on there?
2 perfectly good chicken tenders.
Yeah.
We had to save them for later.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to get hungry, and I wasn't sure what the food situation would be for the rest of the day.
Were you worried that they were going to have an orange flavor, though? That's what my initial concern.
That sounds good. Orange chicken?
Oh, yeah. And now that you say that, she was like Panda Express up in there. Well, I just thought sitting in a bag with some cuties and getting all musty, and it was not hot. The weather was great. It was high 70s. I'm sorry, low 70s. But it did get hot later in the afternoon. But you ate them later, right?
Oh, yeah. And they were good. Like, 8 hours later, they were delicious.
Okay.
And the cuties were good too.
I'll try to believe you. After that, we did Big Thunder. It's right there. I love that ride.
That was super fun.
Yeah. It's still excellent. The track is really good. Um, and yeah, I would put it in the national monument.
Yes.
What is it? The Four Guys, Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore. Oh, and it is a mountain. But yeah, that ride holds up. At noon, we went to Cultural Appropriation Land, aka Adventureland, and we did the Indiana Jones ride. Now, I did this over 2 decades ago. I remember it being boring. The Kurt's because Kurt had a couple friends from San Diego come up and they said, "Oh, it was remodeled, whatever, 10, 15 years ago. It was redone, rehabbed, revamped." I was like, "Okay, cool." So we did Indy Jones at noon, and I thought it sucked.
It wasn't as fun. I remember really liking it back in the day. I think, yeah, they made some changes, I think.
Yeah,
It wasn't as, I don't know. And it was also, it jerked you around a lot.
yeah,
So I was getting a little bit nauseous.
yeah. I thought it sucked 30 years ago. I thought it sucked last weekend. It was you're in a Jeep and you're like, "Grr, grr, grr," and then
Yeah, it hurts.
here comes a scary snake with red eyes going at you. Whatever. I was disappointed in that.
And oop.
After that, we went to the Red Rose Tavern. It was in Fantasyland. Tavern with an E. And we met up with more friends. And thankfully, because trying to get a reservation for 13 people with no short to no notice was not happening. But thankfully, we got a room in the back, got a nice long table for everyone. I had a flatbread. It was fine. It had giant chunks of goat cheese, which I know you love, darling.
Ooh.
I was like, this is a lot of goat cheese and it's really strong tasting. But overall, I thought the flatbread was good and I enjoyed those carbs. Do you remember what you got?
I got a salad because I was trying to be healthy, and it was not good. But I ate the whole thing.
Yeah. 2 o'clock, we split up. Grandma Tien and Grandpa Curtis went with their San Diego friends. And then me, you, Luna, and Lennox went to Fantasyland. And you guys did what ride?
We did the Peter Pan ride.
Yeah.
It was a long-ish wait. It was about
Yeah.
a half-hour wait.
Yeah.
Worth it. I love that ride. And you just waited outside for us, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, going back to I did this 30 years ago. I don't want to wait a half hour. I'm very impatient.
So lame. You're waiting anyway. You might as well come with us.
I'd rather sit and people watch. By the way, while you guys were waiting, I went to get a water and a Diet Coke for you guys. $15, okay?
Wow.
And I came back and I nourished you. I
Yes.
quenched your parched thirst while you guys were sitting in line. But I don't want to wait a half hour for what I would classify as a dumb kiddie ride.
Okay, whatever. It was so fun. I love Fantasyland. I love all those classic little kid quote unquote rides.
Yeah. I am content sitting there in the shade, people watching. I love people watching. I love criticizing people in my head. I love talking mad shit. And I just love the mass of humanity. And I love that you guys are about to get the ride in and enjoy yourselves. And I was able to buy you some beverages. So I have no problem waiting. I would rather just sit there and chill out.
Okay.
And I wasn't staring at my phone. I was staring at man, man. Yeah, so you guys did Peter Pan, and then we decided to break up. Lennox needed a break. So me and Len went back to the telly. You and Luna stayed. And then what did you guys do, honey?
Oh, me and Luna went hard.
Yeah.
So we stayed in Fantasyland. We did Snow White. Luna and I wanted to do as much as we could.
Yeah.
And she was having so much fun doing the rides, and so was I. We did It's a Small World. We did Snow White. We did
You did Dumbo, which
Dumbo.
she was scared
She
on
was
some
terrified.
aspect, right?
She didn't like doing Dumbo. Well, she had fun, but she was scared because you can go really high or you can stay lower.
Yeah.
We did the storybook Canal
Wow.
Boats. We did Alice in Wonderland. Yeah.
Me and Len chilled in the hotel and stared at our telephones. My parents returned to the telly at 4, which blew my mind. I mean, well, they put in 8 hours. And so Len wanted to go back. I wanted to hang with my mom and Grandpa Curtis. So I took Len back via the monorail to you and Luna. And then it was you, Luna, and Len. And I went back to the telly to hang with my parents. And then tell us about marauding around with Luna and Lennox, honey, when it was in the cover of darkness.
We had so much fun. We went on the submarine ride, which has been revamped to Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
We did that. Lennox wanted to go back to Fantasyland and do all the rides that we had done without him, so we went again on a few of them. And then we went on Teacups. I got dizzy. It was terrible, but it was fun.
Yeah.
We did Pirates of the Caribbean again.
Yeah.
We did...
Luna did it 3 times total.
Yes.
Yeah.
The sun was starting to go down, and so Disneyland at night is so cool. It's so magical. There's twinkling lights everywhere. It's just great. We did the Jungle Cruise. We walked around in Adventureland and Fantasyland.
Cultural appropriation land, honey.
We wrapped up the night with the 2 big ones, Space Mountain and the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
The kids have been wanting to do those all night, and we kept checking the app to see how long the wait time was.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy, but once the Matterhorn got down to like 40 minutes, we ran over and got in line. And it was really cool because when we were in line, the fireworks started going. And so when we were on the ride, the fireworks show was still going. And when you're on Matterhorn, there's moments where you're like outside the mountain and you can see the whole park.
Yeah.
So the fireworks were going, the lights were on. It was beautiful. It was a cool experience.
Super cool.
And then we ran over to Space Mountain. It was a pretty long wait. It was like 45-minute long wait. But I'm glad we did it. It was good. And then the kids were ready. It was like 10:30 p.m.
Yeah.
We caught the monorail and we went back to the hotel. We almost made it to the close. I think it closed at 11 that night.
Yeah. I knocked out. I went to bed at 9:30, and then you guys got back to the telly at 10:30. Yeah. I'm so glad you were there to stand in line and wait in the queues with the kids. I would have hung out till close, but I just didn't want to wait in line. And plus, I was hanging out with my parents. That was priority, even though by the end of the night we were just all staring at our phones, and my mom was sending me Amazon links and Walmart links of things I need to buy her because she thinks that Jeff Bezos is going to steal her credit card information. But anyways, but I just wanted to be close to them, near them. But yeah, props to you, darling, for going crazy, going ham, going marauding with Lennox and Luna till the end.
It was a blast, and it was so much fun to do that with the 2 of them and make those memories.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys got to have that time together and have that fun together. As for me, well, I wanted to take Grandpa Curtis to the burger bar there at the Disneyland Hotel, Palm Breeze Bar, and have a beer so we could talk about these women. These women be holding us down. But he was knocked out. He was snoring. So I just went down there by myself. Table for 1, please. Loser, am I right? Had a burger, had a beer. It was fine. I sat by myself. But they had a dude playing music, and he was hooked up to the sound system there. It sounded really great. And it was just him and a guitar, but he was killing it. He was so good. He played Robin Thicke, Lost Without You, played Usher, You Remind Me, and he played Pharrell, Get Lucky. And I was like, this guy is the bomb. This guy is slamming. If we were there, honey, we would have danced.
Oh, yeah.
But I was by myself, so I just remained steadfast and well, alone. Sad. Your favorite rides, honey?
Rise of the Resistance.
Yes, that's number one.
I don't know. I have a top 3, I guess.
Okay, you can't pick a favorite, like picking a favorite kid.
Yeah. Okay, my top rides.
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance.
Yes.
Matterhorn.
Mm.
But I think because of the fireworks and it was at night, like the whole experience.
Yeah, that abominable snowman, that's good stuff.
I loved Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, Thunder Mountain.
That was super fun.
Yeah.
And I just love Fantasyland as a whole. I can't pick a specific ride, but I just love being there doing those classic Disney kiddie rides.
Yeah, I thought ROTR was number one. Smugglers was good, decent. Big Thunder was a fun time. And then for my memories of 25 years ago, Space Mountain and Matterhorn are also excellent roller coasters. Indiana Jones sucks. And Jungle Cruise, boring.
This was my first time doing it at night, and it was really fun. And the kids really liked it, so we had a good time on that.
Yeah, I almost did Mr. Toad's Wild Ride by myself while you guys were doing
You should have.
I know, but again, I was just like, why? I'd rather stare off into the distance and think about life. Some stuff we ate. We got that Dole Whip.
My very first Dole Whip.
Same. It was $7 for a tiny serving, but you go to these froyo places and you're up to $10 after you put some chocolate chips in there and some Oreo crushed topping on there. So I don't think $7 was outrageous. But what did you think of the Dole Whip, honey?
It was fine.
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. It's pineapple soft serve.
It's soft serve.
If you're feeling FOMO,
yeah,
and you've never had a Dole Whip, and you're feeling sad and left out, don't. Like, just go to your local froyo, and it's fine.
It's just food. It's sweet. It has a good vanilla flavor, but I don't. People fetishize all this stuff. It's like, okay, whatever. How about loving your family? $8 water bottles, whatever. We bought 4 or 5 of them, but money doesn't matter. We're throwing our cocktail glasses into the fire. Who cares? $7 bottles of Coca-Cola. When Lennox and I were walking to the monorail to head back to the telly at first, I bought a little thing of fresh popcorn from one of those carts for $6, which again, you go to the movies, this thing costs $6. So Disneyland, not out of the norm. And was this tiny bucket of popcorn, this tiny box of hot, fresh popcorn worth $6? Absolutely, and absolutely not. Okay, it's mind-boggling. It's confounding. It all makes sense when you're on vacation. It was fine. It was just movie theater popcorn. It didn't have. You know what it needs is the butter self-serve thing. But I was like, I'm gonna get some popcorn. I had some popcorn. I had a good time. But yeah, it was worth $6, but it wasn't worth $6. Overall, honey, any regrets with Disney? I would say my regret was the food. Again, going back to Galaxy's Edge, we needed a plan, and there's too much food. There's too many YouTube vloggers. There's too many 83 snacks you need to eat at Disneyland on your park hopper run. It's too much choice, but I wish we had a plan, especially because we were celebrating Grandpa Curtis's 70th birthday. I think maybe we should have like gone off campus somewhere in Anaheim, found a nice restaurant with a nice big room where we could all gathered. But I wish we had more of a plan with food. Do you have any regrets or?
I have no regrets. I think it was a great day. We spent a lot of time with your parents, and then I spent a lot of time with the kids, went on tons of rides.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fabulous day.
We made memories. It was the trip of a lifetime. Thank goodness my mom footed the bill. But I was like, this is something, this is totally out of our norm, out of our regular. Because we go places, but it's on the cheap, if you
Yeah,
will.
it was a big extravaganza,
Yeah,
and I'm so glad we got to do it.
yeah. Are we gonna become Disney adults, honey?
Heck yeah.
I saw like all the dad themed Mickey Mouse T-shirts, like Disney stuff, like a dad wearing a T-shirt that says "Dad" and then the D, the first D and the last D, the D's, were Mickey Mouse ears on the shirt. I was like, these are cool, and just all the like silly Disney, Star Wars, sarcastic shirts. I was like, I want to buy these. I want to become this. I want this to be part of my life. So I hop on Amazon, and I'm looking at Disneyland T-shirts, wacky dad Disneyland tees, and then I thought, what am I doing? When am I going to wear this? When?
Never.
Next time we go to Disneyland in
Next time we go to grocery outlet.
in 30 years, right. So I was like, I guess I wish I loved something that much. I do. My gosh dang family and my gosh dang woman. But caring about Disneyland that much, like I'm jealous, but I'm also like, whatever.
If we lived close by,
Hmm.
I would go more often, I think. But I wonder if it loses its allure and its magicalness if
Yeah.
you go so often.
Yeah.
But these people do. They go all the time and they still like it.
Yeah, well, Grandpa Curtis's friends from San Diego, they have year passes and it costs whatever over $1,000. And there are blackout dates and you basically can't go during the summer. But they showed up and then they were like, okay, we'll see you guys later. So they showed up for a few hours and then they took off back to San Diego. Um, but on the other hand, they like knew where to go and what to do and where to eat. They got
Yeah,
us at the Red Rose Tavern thingy.
it was really helpful having some experts there.
Yeah, yeah. Alrighty. Well, that is the end of part one. Part two, we're gonna talk about staying at the plush, luxurious Disneyland Hotel, where we made coffee from our bathroom sink water, honey. So are we done, honey?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's the end of the program. Thanks for listening. We'll.
And oop.
Just speak from your heart, honey.
Alrighty, well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate, or don't. Do whatever you want. You're a grown up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for Dole Whip. We don't have a promo code for Dole Whip. Goodbye, my parasocial podcast friends. I love you. My wife and I love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, I may not have stood in line for a child's ride. I'm sure it was fun. I'm glad you did it, darling. But it's just, I'm cool. I'm cool over here. I'm cool people watching, but I'm still a good person. We're still good people. Thank you for caring. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. We hope you have a wonderful day/night. Oh, bye bye.